What's up, guys? It's your boy August BTC back again with another video. So here we are, guys. Just wanted to give you guys another update on the portfolio. How we doing? As you guys know, my goal here is simply I'm a Bitcoin options trader, and my goal is to bring this account that I'm running from $1,000 to $10,000 live, full transparency, not sugarcoating anything, showing you guys my losses, my wins, and every single thing. So as you can see, we are in a minor recovery. 3 weeks ago, my portfolio was looking pretty terrible, but today we're recovering. And the interesting part is, I haven't done anything special this particular time. I've just simply stuck to the system that I introduced. Okay, so I just want to give you a quick update on the account equity, why are we pumping, and why are we going up. So as you can see, as mentioned, Bitcoin went down drastically from June. Basically, June has been pretty much a bad month for me, to be honest, so far. Although, June is a particular interesting day for me. It's my birthday, but anyways, it's my birth month. Sorry. So Bitcoin went down here, and we found a particular very strong support. At the 60k, 59, 58, 59k level, which is where the 200 week moving averages, and now we're currently bouncing. So why are we going up? Obviously this movement up here is helping the portfolio grow, but the goal for me is, regardless of the market, I'm not trying to predict or time the market. I don't really care what Bitcoin, well, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, and I want Bitcoin to go to 100k, 150, 200, $1 million. But as an options trader, you should be unbiased as where the market goes. And regardless of the market, especially with Bitcoin, your portfolio still needs to print money. And that is what I want to show you guys. So why are we going up? Simply because the US and Iran finally agreed on a deal. As you can see here, breaking news, President Trump says peace deal with Iran is officially complete and the Strait of Hormuz is now open, right? And as a result of that, Bitcoin went all the way to as $67,000 just in the past 2 hours, which is incredible. And as a result, that also affected the price of oil, because when war happens, oil goes up, but then when there's a peace deal and when war stops, oil goes down. And as a result, that also helps with the crypto market, and that is why we are pumping up. So how's account equity looking like? Let's have a look. As you can see right here, guys, we are in the process of recovering. As I mentioned, June 1st was basically pretty bad. We went down because Bitcoin crashed. And as you know, my portfolio is directly correlated with Bitcoin, right? Very strongly correlated with Bitcoin. So what I'm trying to do now, I've structured the system in such a way that although my account is very correlated to Bitcoin, I still want the account to be as smooth as possible and as less volatile as possible. And for that to happen, there's certain strategies that I have to implement into the account, which I'll be showing you guys. So as you can see, we are recovering nice and smoothly here, right? The goal is to try and reclaim 3K again, and then 4K, and then 5K, and then that's how we're going to get to 10K. Look at this P&L. Ever since I implemented my new strategy, I believe around the 9th, around the 7th actually, the account has been smoothing out, and slightly going up to the right, and that is exactly what I want, right? All of this is just tuition fees that I was paying, new strategies that I was trying, to make the portfolio work. And that is what you have to do, guys. So I'm putting real money at risk right here. The goal is to transparently show you guys how, through Bitcoin options trading, I can get this account to 10K this year. Okay, and we'll get there. So let's have a look at the portfolio. How we're looking. So let's have a look here. So this is what we're looking at right now. This is a portfolio. Let me collapse this so that I can explain to you what's going on. So in total, the account is actually much higher this morning. We were up like, I think, $200 or so, like $150 or so. But I closed some position because I'm sticking to my strategy, and I'll break it down. So the account is currently up about $55, right, in total, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we are basically making $6.72 per day, right, more or less, right? $6 per day. That's how much we're making in Theta, which is great. That is exactly what I want. The goal is also to try and increase this as time goes to $10, $20, and ultimately the massive goal would be to get this to like $100 a day. That would be beautiful. So I have Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is also heavily correlated. And every time that Bitcoin Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum also goes up, which also helps the account in general. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. What do we have here? Again, guys, both of the options that I'm selling here on Bitcoin and Ethereum are basically up until July, the end of July. Why? So the strategy that I'm employing here or deploying here is to basically sell options or trade options or have the strategies 45 days out, right? That's the optimal level for me. So I'm selling options 1 month out, right? So currently we have in the month of for July 31st, we have 45 days to go, right? So that's basically how I'll be working with the portfolio. So it's only going to be the options that I'm going to be selling. The time frame for me, it's just a month, right? Before I was doing weekly, but it required me to manage the portfolio way too much, and I didn't really like that, and when you trade weekly options, like I mentioned before, you have a lot of risks, right? Gamma is really, really high. The portfolio is really, really volatile. And because I want my equity curve to be smooth, the optimum time frame for me is 45 days, right? Which is about 30 days, which is about a month, basically. That's what I'm talking about. And if you look at the maintenance margin and initial margin, is way lower. This is basically your oxygen. If your maintenance margin goes to 100, your entire account gets blown out. And how can this go to 100? It's simply with Bitcoin being extremely volatile. There's a crash that happens if you have too many positions or your position sizes are very large and you don't know how much you're doing. This maintenance margin can go all the way to 100% and you can get liquidated. Remember, guys, I'm trading with portfolio margin, which allows me to trade massive positions with very small collateral, right? It takes experience, it takes, practice, and it takes knowing what you're doing to be able to do this. Okay. So just to give you an example, the total size that I have here, right? This is the positions that I have here in total, more or less. It's about let's see here, 0.1, sorry, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have about 0.6 Bitcoin, right? Positions that I have open here, which is massive with the amount of collateral that I have, right? Because 0.6 of this amount would just be massive. Let me just see. 0.6 of 66,800 will be basically $40,000, right? $40,000, guys, right? And that's basically the notional size that I have here, more or less. Obviously, it's been offset. Again, this is through portfolio margin, but then again, I don't want to get into those details. Let me quickly run through the portfolio and tell you guys what's happening. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm running a strangle. I like strangles, and I also have some long exposure. Okay. So I'm setting a put, right? I'm setting a put for Bitcoin at 57K strike for July 31st. The size is 0.1. How much I got paid for this position is $88. If you do 0.1 minus this, that's $88. I'm currently up $13, 14%, and I'm getting paid $2.50 every single day, right? And I have two puts. I have another put here, 0.1. I got paid $97. It's currently down a little bit because I recently opened up this position. Let me show you guys. I took some profit on some positions earlier on the put side because Bitcoin is going up. Remember, with the put size, the puts on this side, puts, I'm basically saying that I'm selling options, I'm selling puts to say, okay, I'm betting that Bitcoin is going to go up, and these are basically my strikes, 0.1, 0.1. As you can see, Bitcoin is all the way up here. So as the price of Bitcoin goes up, that's how much I'm getting in profit, and basically my premium is getting decayed, and I'm basically going to capture this entire premiums that I have here. Okay, and then to complete this triangle, I'm selling a call, right? I'm setting a 70K call, right, and a 71K call. 31 expires 31 July. So what I'm basically saying here, I'm saying again that Bitcoin, I don't think that by July 31st, Bitcoin is going to be above 70 and 71K. But as you can see, we're getting close to that, but I'm not worried at all, right? I'm still just sticking to the strategy. So for these two positions, I got $107 that I received into the account, and $89 that I also received into the account. Currently, these positions are down badly, as you can see, but that's basically how those triangles work. Okay, but I'm getting very nice amount of premium on these positions, about $6 in total for these two positions. So what's basically happening here, right? So I have this triangle, right? The red positions here are the short calls and short puts. As you can see, Bitcoin is trying to challenge these positions, right? And that is why I'm losing. But even though I'm losing here, I'm winning here, right? That's why the account isn't really feeling it. This is basically called a triangle. It's a strategy. You're working with two goalposts, right? I don't really care what Bitcoin goes, either up or down. All I want is for Bitcoin to stay within this range, and I make my money and I make my premiums, okay? Then, because we're in a bear market, I'm betting that Bitcoin is going to bounce and go a lot more higher, because in the bear market, Bitcoin crashes, but I like to be a contrarian trader. So what I did is I bought a long call like 62K, and this thing has been paying me massively. I bought a 0.1 Bitcoin call, and this cost me about $500 to open up this position. And currently I'm up $145, 27%, which is great, right? And then the higher Bitcoin goes, the higher I'm going to profit here. I've also opened up another call, long call 0.1 for Bitcoin, to go up if Bitcoin goes up above 72,000. I paid $114. So when you buy a long call, you basically pay premium, and then when you sell a call or put, you receive premium. So I just wanted to show you guys the positions that I sold earlier, right, for profit, or close for profit. So I opened up a put, I think last week, for 55K. It wasn't a massive profit. So my goal is every time my positions goes to 50%, especially on the short calls and short put, I close the position for profit. As you can see, I opened up this position at 55K, and then Bitcoin went all the way to 67K. So obviously I bought the position back to close it for profit, and then I reopened it at a higher strike, as you can see here. Same thing with this position. This position was in tremendous profit, 54K. I bought to close the position and locked in the profit, right? I opened this at 54, Bitcoin went all the way to 65. Great profit. I was about 50% in profit on my premium, and that's why I closed the position. Full transparency here, guys. So let's go to Ethereum and see what's going on there. It's basically the same process with Ethereum. I'm selling a put, right? Collect the premium. I'm selling a call. Sorry, here is a call. I'm selling the call to complete this triangle. I'm collecting premium. Remember, this is 36 times 2 contracts. Currently, the calls basically will be in a loss. All the calls, the calls that I'm selling here will be in a loss, but the puts will be in profit because Bitcoin is going up. But then when Bitcoin goes down, the opposite will happen. The calls will be in profit and then the puts will be in trouble, right? But to help me out here, I also have long calls on Ethereum as well, which is in great profit. I bought one contract, 1.6 strike. Ethereum is currently at 1.8, as you can see right here. And I'm 43% in profit, which is great. I also have this long call for Ethereum as well for 2050, all expiring again in July 31st, right? One contract, I paid $29 for this position. I'm up $22. So essentially this is what's happening, guys, right? In total, this is a profit that I'm having right here. And just to quickly summarize, I'm going to take a screenshot of this, put it in Claude so that you guys can get a very nice summary of basically what's happening. So as you guys can see, this is basically a quick summary of the portfolio. I use Claude just to make it a little bit better to read, because I know sometimes, reading from here can be a little bit, complicated for some. So just to explain a little bit better, I use Claude just to, make it a little bit better. So basically what's happening here, the total P&L for the entire account, Bitcoin plus Ethereum, is about 53. Like I mentioned earlier, I was way up, right, much higher on this total P&L early this morning, but I closed some positions in the profit. The premium that I still stand to make, right, at the end of this month, which is in 45 days, is about a total of $487. So by the end of this month, my account could potentially shoot up to 400 plus on top of this. So we should be making some good money at the end of this, well, end of July, run about middle of July, we'll see. But I should be way above 3,000, maybe 3,500. I'm hoping. We'll see how it goes. Obviously I'll keep on capturing as much premium as possible, right? And I'm basically getting close to $7 a day in Theta. The goal is obviously to get this increase, and as we get closer to expiry, you'll see how Theta is going to be basically increasing every day. These are the positions that I'm running, as you can see, which is great, and I love it. So that's basically the summary of the portfolio, guys. Just a quick account update. The system is working. I always have, you know, positions open. My new strategy is to have it open for a month, right? That's basically the duration. And as a result of that, I don't have to do much in the portfolio, not much managing, you know. And then the goal here is to basically let the positions go up to 50% profit, you know, whichever leg gets to 50% profit, I'll close the position for profit. And then if that doesn't go to 50% profit, I'll just manage the position around 21 days to expiry. So basically, if I have positions running for a month, in the middle of the month, 21 days, I'll basically manage the positions, close, roll, whatever the case may be. This is a system that I have. Works, right? Doesn't, you don't really have to do much. All you have to do is just to stick to the system, and you basically reap the reward. Now I just have to be patient, let the portfolio print, right? Let my account equity continue to grow, and basically we'll get where we need to get, which is $10,000 live on this channel. And I'll show you guys how it's done. So if you guys like the content, feel free to like, subscribe. Please share the video with friends, right? And your people, anyone that you might know. Drop a comment if you have any questions, and I would love to you know, answer to the best that I can. And yeah, guys, I'll see you on the next one.